Hi folks, welcome to this channel. Today we are going to learn how to install AdminLTE version 3 on a Laravel 8 project. So this is what we are going to achieve today. I just installed a Laravel fresh project through Composer. This is what I get. Then I'm going to that folder and I open it with Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here as you know, AdminLTE works with Bootstrap and maybe jQuery, but in the dev dependencies, we only have Axios, Laravel Mix, Post CSS, and so on. So we have to install somehow Bootstrap, right? The best way to do this, in my opinion, is through Laravel UI. So if we go to the repo of Laravel UI and we go to the README, we can see that we have to run this. Okay, let me copy that. Let's paste it here. Let's press enter. Okay, let's move on. Okay, if we go to Google and search AdminLTE, here is the page. We can go there, and if we go to live preview, it's going to show us AdminLTE, but on his version 2. We don't need this. We have to go to the repo of GitHub here, and we have to scroll down and click here. Okay, this is AdminLTE 3. Okay, what else? Let's see if this has finished. Not yet. We can also see that AdminLTE is fully responsible based on Bootstrap 4. Okay, that's what we're going to achieve. And also needs jQuery. Okay, that's great. Let's see what else I want to show you. Let's see the documentation. So how can we install admin? Let's click here. Let's go to docs. Okay, here it says that we can install it through npm. Okay, let's wait to this to finish. Okay, it has already been finished. Let's go to GitHub and we need generate basic scaffolding. We can do it with or without auth. We are going to need auth. So let me copy this because we are going to log in and we want to see the principal dashboard with admin, right? So let's copy this. Let's paste it here. This is going to be fast. Okay, it says that we need to run npm install and npm run dev, but let's go to our code, and here in Visual Studio Code we can see that now we have Bootstrap on version 4, jQuery 3, and so on. Okay, so to install this we need to run npm install. Okay, what it's going to do is it's going to install all of these dependencies and it's going to put it on a folder called node modules. Let's do that. Okay, we need to run npm install, press enter. This is going to take a little time because it depends on your internet connection. While this is being installed, let's work with our database. So I use Workbench. Let me create a database. So create database and let me call it AdminLTE 8 for Laravel 8. Okay, I think this is okay. That's great. Enter. Okay, no errors. So let me say use AdminLTE 8. Okay, that's great. Let me refresh here, and here it is, AdminLTE 8. Let's say show tables. This has to be empty. Okay, there's nothing there. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, env, where we edit our credentials, MySQL, that's right. So if you can see here, it appears node modules. Okay, my port is 3307. Database name is AdminLTE8. Username root and password is password. This depends on your credentials and what you are using. You can use Postgres and this is going to change. Postgres I think is 5432. That I am using MySQL. Okay, let's go to the terminal and we can run php artisan migrate. So migrations, users, and what comes with by default with Laravel is going to migrate. PHP artisan migrate. Okay, let's wait. Let's see if node this has already been finished. Not yet. Okay, migrated. Okay, that's it. So let's refresh show tables. Okay, that you can see my tables, and let's see, select everything from users. This has to be empty too. There we see. Okay, let's wait for this. Okay, this has finished. So the other thing they told us to do is npm run dev. Let's copy this. Let's paste it here. I have an extra space here. Okay, enter. And after that, we should see the authentication default that comes with Laravel UI. Okay, this has finished, but it says that additional dependencies must be installed and we need to run npm run dev one more time. Let's do that. Okay, that should be it. Okay, this is done, so let's test it. We can go here to Visual Studio Code and run php artisan serve --port 90 or whatever port you like to use. Let's close that. Let's come here and 127. Okay, that's great. Okay, this is Laravel 8. Let's go to register. I use fake filler Chrome extension. Let's register and we should see the main dashboard of Laravel UI. Okay, this is great. So here is where we are going to see this dashboard. Okay, last test. Let's go to Workbench and select everything from users, and here is the user that we already created. Okay, let's move on. We have to install AdminLTE so we can use this way. But before, I'd like to show you the versions. If we go to GitHub, we go to 74 releases, click here, and we can see here the releases. The last release was AdminLTE 3.0.5, but we have a new release, which is a release candidate and is pre-release. Let's install this one, the one that is stable. So we have to, let me see, we have to go to the docs, installation. If we run npm install AdminLTE, and okay, wait, here. If we run this npm install AdminLTE --save, the version that is going to install for us is this one, but this is a release candidate. Let's say we want this version. Okay, we have to do this way. Let's copy this. Let me copy. Let's go to the terminal. Let's paste it here, but we don't want this version. We want the version that is here, version 3.0.5. Let's copy this. Okay, so we have to let me copy this version 3.0.5, copy, and let's paste it here. Okay, so --save. Let me see if everything is correct. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so remember that if you want this version, this one, the only thing you have to do is npm install AdminLTE --save, and it's going to install the last version. But if you want another version like this one, or maybe this one, or this one, you have to copy the version and paste it like I did. Okay, this is done. So if we go to Visual Studio Code and let's go to package.json, here we can see that in dependencies we have AdminLTE version, the version that I was telling you. Okay, so what's next? We need to add AdminLTE to the JavaScript part. Okay, so if we go to resources, JS app.js, here we see that it's calling. Let me open so I can tell you package.json. Okay, so here it's calling require bootstrap, right? But this is not the bootstrap that we know, the framework where we can work with the styles. This is this bootstrap JS, where here it's calling Popper, jQuery, and the bootstrap that we know. These ones are in package.json, where we see jQuery, bootstrap, and Popper. Okay, and now we need to call AdminLTE. Let me copy this, and we have to do this. If we go to bootstrap.js, here we can do require, and let's paste AdminL3. Okay, that's it. Now we need to work with the styles, and now we have to work with the styles. So we go to CSS, to resources CSS, no, sorry, resources SAS, and variables.css. We don't care about that. App.scss. Okay, here we can call admin for the style. So let me say AdminLTE, and we can comment that. Okay, so let's copy this because we're going to do something similar. Let's paste it, and here we have to call AdminLTE, then dist, then CSS, and then AdminLTE.css. Okay, but what is this? This is what we install with npm. If we go to node modules and we search for AdminLTE, here we can go to dist, this folder dist, then to folder CSS, and here we see AdminLTE CSS, what it is, what we are calling here. If we click here, this is just the styles. Okay, so what's next? Now we need to call like the dashboard. Okay, so if we go to Brave, we can click here, the main dashboard, the one that we want for our project. But this is too much. Okay, this is too much. We don't need this. We can go to extras and then to started page. Okay, let's click here, and this is much simpler. So if we click see code, we can click everything. Let's see Control C. Let's go back to Visual Studio Code. We can go to resources, views, and here we can, in layout, in folder layout, we can make a new file, which we can call it, I don't know, master.late.php. Okay, that's great. So here we can paste what we already copied from here. Okay, let's continue. We need the JS part, right? So before we do that, if we go to webpack.mix.js, I don't know if you know about Laravel Mix, but let me explain to you a little bit. So here is the input for JavaScript, and here is the input for CSS, and the output is this. Okay, so what we're saying is that let's start for app.js, which is the input, which is this file. So this file is calling bootstrap, which is this file that we already edited, and here is calling everything we need. Okay, so this is going to do, as when we run npm run dev, the input is going to compile everything we need and is going to put it here in public JS. If we go here, let me close this. Okay, public JS app.js is going to send it here. Okay, we never touch this, because if we make a change and when we run npm run dev again, it's going to change everything. Okay, so let's go back to Webpack. Okay, like I was telling you, here this is the input, this is the input, and this is the output. Okay, so we can run now. We already make changes here, remember? So we can call admin here and here. These two files are this one and this one. So if we run, let me clear this, npm run dev, everything in here, the changes we made is going to compile in these two files. While that is happening, let me go to master.blade.php, and here we can do what we need. So we need to call these two files that are going to that is running. Okay, that didn't end yet, so we can say here, let's delete that script, and we have to call in jQuery the JS part, right? So we have to go to public folder, so we have to go to this folder, public JS and app.js. So how can we call that? So to call that, we have to enter to public file. There's different ways, but the one I use is asset, and we say JS, and let's go to that file, app.js. Okay, that should be enough. Now we need the CSS part. So if we go here, app, we can delete all of this because we are not going to need this. Start. Okay, that's great. And let's say link like this. Okay, href is going to asset css app.css. Okay, one more time. This is going to here and here. Okay, let's see if npm run dev finish. Okay, it's done. Now we can test it. So before we test it, let's see what we have here. We have your login. This is the dashboard that comes by default with Laravel. So this is welcome.blade.php. No, it is home.blade.php. You are login. So this is extracting layouts.app. So this home blade is calling layouts.app, which is this, but we already made one that is called master. Let's call master. Okay, and that should be it. Let's come here, let's refresh, and here you can see that we implemented the right way admin on his version 3. Of course, we need font awesome and maybe some images, but if we click here, okay, not here, here the JavaScript part is working just fine. Okay, so the JavaScript part should be working fine. If we go to an example like here, you can see that this is JavaScript, open and close. In our project we don't see this because we didn't install font awesome yet, but it's not working, man. But why? That should work, because I made a silly mistake here. I was calling the wrong way. I forgot to call like this. Okay, that's great. Let's refresh here, and this is the same as this, right? So here we have this font awesome. Okay, let's click here. Okay, open and close. The JavaScript part is working fine. Okay, now let's install font awesome. Okay, so now let's work with font awesome. So we have to search for font awesome in Google. Font awesome, okay. And we have to go to the page of font awesome. The next thing we have to do is to search for start. Let's go to start, and then let's scroll down to npm. We are going to install font awesome through npm. Okay, so let's copy this, installing the free version, npm install. Let's copy, let's go to the terminal. Let me clear this. Let's paste it here and let's press enter. Okay, that was fast. That's already done. So let's go back to the web page. Let's go back to start, and now let's go to SAS. And here we're going to need to import these variables.scss. So let's copy this. Let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and now here you can see that we have font awesome on his version 5. Okay, let's go back where we need to go to the styles. So app.css. Remember, this is in resources SAS. Okay, so now here under variables we can say font awesome. We can comment this, and here we can copy. Let's delete these spaces. Okay, that's it. And we need to do one more thing. Here under AdminLTE, let's go back to the web page of Font Awesome. Let's go to start, and now let's say, oh, I think we were here, right? Okay, let's go back here, and we need to import this. This is for importing the icons. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you later. Let's paste here, and now we have to do the next thing. If you go to node modules, you can see that here it's Font Awesome. Okay, and inside Font Awesome there is a folder called Font Awesome Free. After that, we have to go to SCSS, and here are all the icons available for us. So we have to do this. In order to not to fail with the names, we can copy this. Let me copy. Okay, Control C, and now let's go to app.scss, and here we have to paste this. Okay, I have double quotes here. Let's delete that. Let me copy this so you can go to node modules. Okay, that's great. So we are going to Font Awesome folder that I just showed you. Then we're going to Font Awesome Free. Then we have to go to the file SCSS, and then to Font Awesome SCSS. Let's copy this. Control C, Control V, and Control V. Okay, now we need for solid icons. So SCSS instead of Font Awesome, let's say solid. And one more thing we should need is regular. Okay, regular, and one more thing is Control C, Control V is for brands. Okay, and this is brands. That's great. Let's delete this. Let me comment this so I can show you how this works. After doing this, we have, as you know, we have to compile the assets, because everything in here is going to go to public. It's going to, how can I tell you, everything we have in Webpack, which includes this here, everything of this, which is the input, is going to compile and merge it into two files, app.js and app.css. Okay, so we have to go to the terminal and run npm run dev, or you can run npm run watch. So every change is going to look for this, and we don't have to run every time. Okay, so it looks like we have a problem. It's because here, sorry, we have to import. It has to be as equal as it's in node modules. If we go to node modules, Font Awesome Free, it doesn't have a point at the end. We have, oh, I did a mistake, so we have to delete this point. Okay, that's great, and now everything should work fine. So let's run npm run dev one more time. So this is done, everything is correct. Let's go back to our page. We can refresh it here, and we see the icons. JavaScript is working fine. We can open it and close it. Okay, let me show you something else before we finish this tutorial. Let's go to icons, and what I was telling you is, if we add, let's say brands works for brands, like Facebook, I don't know. Let's click free, and let's click brands. Okay, so here it should appear, I don't know, like Airbnb. Let's click here. So we see the code, and for brands it's FAB. Okay, let's copy this, and we are not going to be able to use it. So let's go to master. Let's search for, I don't know, simple link. Control F, simple link. sorry, simple link. Okay, it's here, and this is the icon that is using it. Let's comment it. Okay, now let's paste what we were working with. FAB, B is for brand, S is for solid. Okay, so if we go back here, here, S is for solid. If we use FAR is for regular. So if we refresh here, we should have a problem in simple link, remember. Okay, we can see it. So if we go back to our application, let's go to app.css, let's uncomment this, and let's run npm run dev again. Okay, sorry guys, I have the same problem that we were having seconds ago. We have to delete this point, and let's run npm run dev one more time. Okay, this is done. So now we are able to use FAB. Let's refresh this, and here we should see the icon of Airbnb. Okay, this is here, but we have a problem. Let's go back here, and the problem is that this class uses at the beginning nav icon. Okay, now everything should be fine. Let's refresh here, and there you see everything is working fine. So remember, if you want to use like brands, it's like F, A, and B, regular is F, A, and R, and so on. But remember to use the free version because that's what we are using. Okay, so that's it for today. We have found awesome. In the next video, we can customize this because I don't know, this looks like unnecessary to me. We can delete this. We can add images. That's it. So thank you for watching. This code is going to be on GitHub. You can clone it or fork it so you can work with it. Thank you guys. See you in the next one.